Welcome back to the Pretty Lock to Triumph special preview. That's on the 3rd of October, 7 p.m. onwards on channel 289. Now in segment 1, we took a look at the French challengers. Now it's time for us to consider who the raiders are from across the channel from Great Britain and Ireland. Now the first of the raiders that we look at from across the channel is the main danger to the French runners, and that's Fame and Glory. Fame and Glory is a 4-year-old son of Manchu out of Griada, trained by Aidan O'Brien and owned by Smith, Magnier and Tabor. Johnny Murtagh has selected Fame and Glory over his stablemate Cape Blanco. Now Fame and Glory in his last 4 starts is unbeaten in 2010. We take a look at the Coronation Cup on the 4th of June, which was over Epsom weekend.
Towards the rear of the field, Southeaster going on in the early stages from Jukebox Jury as they sort themselves out, and the pacemaker Dixie Music going over from out wide. Fame and Glory up in 4th position, followed by Sariska Cavalryman. Out deeper then is Mashkarov as they settle and start to climb uphill now, going slightly right-handed around that dog leg and now making a beeline for the inside rail. Dixie Music the leader by a couple of lengths to Southeaster, settling on the outside of Jukebox Jury. Half a length away then is Fame and Glory. 2 or 3 further back Sariska, followed then by Cavalryman, who's back in the field. Hume Zane is also giving them a start. High Heeled is out the back and Bashkarov is second last. Running down to Tattenham Corner now in the Coronation Cup, and on the inside Dixie Music has done his job well. Half a length to Fame and Glory. A length and a half away then is Sariska, who's starting to loom up now on the outside of Jukebox Jury. A length and a half then to Cavalryman is coming into it, and then Hume Zane from a long way back, and they're clear of High Heeled into the home straight now, and Fame and Glory's taken it up, but here's Sariska, the filly on the outside. In behind them is Hume Zane running on well from Cavalryman, and then further back is High Heeled. They race up now with 2 furlongs left to go in the Coronation Cup. Fame and Glory about a neck in front. Sariska trying hard to reel him in. 2 or 3 lengths away. Hume Zane is knuckling down to it, and High Heeled. Fame and Glory's found a bit extra inside the final furlong. Fame and Glory repelling Sariska and then High Heeled, and this has been a game victory. Fame and Glory, runner-up in the Derby last year, winner of the Coronation Cup this year.
And a very brave performance there by Fame and Glory, suggestive of the fact that he had in fact found the form that had made him one of the top 3-year-olds last year. Now one day later at Epsom, we saw a remarkable winner of the Epsom Derby.
They're racing, and Coordinated Cup just dipped coming out of the stalls, got away otherwise okay. Jan Vermeer going pretty fast early, up there too as Bullet Train in the early stages. Asmeal is also searching for a handy posse, and going on now the pacemaker At First Sight. So it's At First Sight from Asmeal, and then Ted Spread behind them, just in about 4th position. Midas Touch in the centre as they now go around the dog led over on the far side with 1 mile and a quarter left to travel. Hot Prospect is back in the field. Workforce right there in centre field. They're followed further back by Jan Vermeer, settling about 7th or 8th at this stage. Rewilding is well back too with Buzzword. Yeah, At First Sight by 5 lengths. Up on the outside, Bullet Train taking closer order from Alzir. Asmeal, I should say. On the outside next is Midas Touch, followed further back then by Alzir, and then out wide at Ted Spread. Jan Vermeer with 8 lengths to make up, so too Workforce, who's going with him, and they're kicked away now as they straighten up from Rewilding. It's At First Sight, 10 lengths in front on straightening. Here comes the chasing pack. They're led by Workforce. He's out after the leader. He's 3 lengths to the good of Jan Vermeer, and further back in the field then Alzir, but he's trying to gather this leader in. The inexperienced Workforce. Ryan Moore going for his 2nd classic in 2 days. Workforce races up, grabs the lead now from At First Sight. They're a mile clear of the rest. Workforce is storming away. A furlong left to go. This inexperienced horse, Workforce, is careering away, and a first Derby win for Ryan Moore. It's Workforce who goes on to win it. At First Sight will get 2nd.
Workforce, the son of King's Best out of Soviet Moon, was saddled by Michael Stout in Khalid Abdullah's silks, with Ryan Moore on top, to run away with the Epsom Derby. He did disappoint thereafter in the King George to finish 5th, and since then Michael Stout has laid him off to keep him fresh for the Arc. Workforce's Derby performance was so astounding, so much so that if he were to find that form on Arc Day, he would be a very tough horse to beat. Now while Ryan Moore has preferred his stablemate Fame and Glory over Cape Blanco, Cape Blanco's form is impressive. a first in the Irish Derby, followed by a second in the King George, and then a victory in the Irish Champion Stakes, and Cape Blanco isn't without a chance. Cape Blanco would prefer good to firm going, and Arc Weekend looks to be soft, which probably accounts for John Murtagh selecting Fame and Glory over the Son of Galileo. And one horse who seems to have lost his form in 2010, well, is the 7-year-old Yumzain. Yumzain, a son of Sindar out of Sadima, has run 28 times in his career, winning 5 times, and has run second 8 times. Now consider that 3 of these 8 seconds were in the last 3 runnings of the Arc behind See the Stars, Zarkava and Dylan Thomas. He did finish behind Fame and Glory in the Coronation Cup, but did finish ahead of Workforce in the King George. His best performances, however, have been in the Arc, especially his second to Zarkava and See the Stars.
An unbeaten record, a smashing filly has won the Arc. Yumzain was second. See the Stars in front. Yumzain's coming through to try and take second place, but he is the brightest star. See the Stars won it. Yumzain is probably second for the
Well, now in 2008, a filly called Zarkava came out and beat the Colts. Well, that doesn't happen too often, but do we have fillies in the field this year? We'll take a break, come back and take a look at 2 that just might be the ones.